Hi, it's Dr. Nancy Zare, and I have the exciting pleasure to introduce to you one of the members of our group from Relationship Builders for Sales Success. Not only is she a member of our group, she's also a personal friend and Mary Kay representative. And even more exciting, she happens to have a rare designation with Toastmasters International. So, Kristen Culver, I'm excited to have you be highlighted here as one of the members of our group. Welcome.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate you having me today, Nancy.
Yeah, and tell me, Kristen, what is that designation for Toastmasters? Because I know it's very special. Not many people earn it.
The term is called Distinguished ToastMaster, often abbreviated with the letters DTM. About 1%, or almost a little less than 1% of Toastmasters internationally ever complete that designation because it's a two-track educational path that takes a lot of time. There's speeches, workshops, projects, time given to the community, all to culminate in this award. It's almost like going back to school for a master's degree.
Yeah, and hence a distinguished, master Toastmaster. So I'm happy that you are here. And those of you who are listening, if you're curious to know more about Toastmasters, right now Toastmasters meetings are online. Kristen would love to invite you as a guest for you to experience it. It's an excellent place to sharpen your skills or even learn the skill of public speaking. Am I right?
Absolutely. It's self-paced, so you don't have to feel pressured.
Mhm.
We're really good at giving suggestions that are constructive and not hurtful. I feel like a good evaluation helps build you into a better speaker.
Fantastic. So I wish I had known about Toastmasters earlier in my career. I went directly from being someone who spoke to someone who was invited to the National Speakers Association, which is a professional group. And really, I think I would have benefited from going to Toastmasters. There are many NSA members who actually are still members of Toastmasters because, as Kristen said, it's a very structured program to teach you the fundamentals. So congratulations. This was, by the way, a rather new designation that she earned in the last couple of months. So the reason I asked Kristen to come on, I mentioned she's a Mary Kay representative, and that's another story because you recently got a big promotion with Mary Kay. Am I right?
Yes, I am now considered a team leader, and I'm well on my way to working into my director qualification.
And of course, everybody wants to know when's the pink Cadillac happening. And it is, it's going to happen. It will happen, but it's so exciting. But here's why I especially wanted Kristen to come on and interview her, because I heard her say something, and I bet you have discovered this to be true as well. During this time of COVID, there are a number of brides or people with various celebrations and occasions who want to have professional makeup. And suddenly nobody's there. But guess what? Kristen could be. So, Kristen, tell us about that.
Well, I have the unique skill set of having been a medical research technician. And you might think, what does that got to do with makeup? It means that I have impeccable sterile technique. And in the time of COVID, I am fastidious about keeping my equipment clean. I wear my lab coat, well, in this case, it's a beauty coat, gloves, face mask. My hair is usually pulled back because who wants their hair in my hair in your face? And I use brushes that I can sanitize or even disposable applicators. I don't touch my clients. Usually we instruct them and we show them, but now if they need me to actually do their makeup in a more sanitary way, I can gown up like I'm going to the hospital to deliver a baby, and I can bring your face to being what you want it to be for your special occasion.
Wow. And that was exactly the reason I felt it was so important to bring Kristen on right now, because as I've been scrolling Facebook, and I bet this is true for you too, I am seeing announcements from brides, they're absolutely, distraught. What am I going to do? My makeup person, social distance won't come and help me. And so, Kristen, I know you're physically located in Boston. Do you have a geographical area that you could serve?
I generally stay within the state of Massachusetts. So I'm in Boston. I probably would head out as far as Worcester, as far down south as Rhode Island, and up to New Hampshire, although I have family in New Hampshire. So I might be willing to drive up to, I don't know, about midpoint of New Hampshire. It's just between 2 to 3 hours would be maximum driving time, because you're going to need time to sit in the chair and get all done up. And if I have to wake up at midnight to come to your house, that could be one heck of a drive.
Right, right. So again, keep this in mind in terms of opportunities where you could refer Kristen, because she, she's got the qualifications, she's got amazing products, and she's got a great sense of beauty, as you can tell from her own lovely face. I have used her products myself. And Kristen, could you talk more in general about the fact that you're not limited to the Boston area for serving people? Because I have folks in this group for all over.
According to the Direct Sellers Association and Mary Kay Corporate, my Mary Kay, license, if you will, allows me to sell to anyone in the United States, including Alaska and Hawaii. It might be a little challenging getting things to people on the West Coast, but we have warehouses we can ship our products from if I don't physically have it on site. And as long as I don't take someone away from another consultant, pretty much anyone with a face is fair game.
And by the way, that's men's faces as well as women's faces. So you just don't have to be female in order to use the products. In fact, several of my colleagues love satin hands. So if you're not familiar with satin hands, I know that Kristen sends samples, so you should contact her. Satin hands. By the way, a lot of people who are washing, satin hands will protect your hands. Actually, you could probably say it better than me, but that is a product that, of course, the men enjoy too.
It's designed to not just hydrate, but it actually has multiple steps. So there's an emollient to really give back some of the moisture you might have lost, a scrub to just get rid of the dead stuff, and then a very lightweight but very soothing moisturizer that goes on top. And it lasts through like 15 hand washings. I have several friends who are nurses who can't thank me enough when we shipped cases of hand lotion to them.
Right. So keep this all in mind. Kristen, any last things you want to share with us and share with the group about you, like perhaps your cats or anything else that you'd like to
Yes,
let
my
people
husband
know?
and I had two fur children, Boris and Natasha, named after the cartoon characters. And I have some very interesting hobbies. I already mentioned Toastmasters. I embroider. I know that sounds a little weird, but sometimes having that fine hand-eye coordination comes in handy. Other than that, I'm kind of a goofy person. Sometimes I'm like a walking cartoon character. I want to see my clients smile and laugh and feel good. And it's not always about the makeup. It's about that whole self-esteem that comes out of looking and feeling your best.
And the last thing I should let you also know about, or have Kristen mention, is that she's also very charitably minded. And I know at least once a year she's raising money for a particular cause, but then she's also in the winter months collecting items too. So Kristen, would you speak to that too before we end?
Certainly. There's a family shelter in the Framingham, Massachusetts area called Bethany Hill Place. A friend in common with me and Nancy introduced me to the director, and it's a family shelter. So there's men, women, and teens. I thought it would be really great considering we carry skincare, soap and moisturizer for the head to your toes. I donated several cases of basic cleansing, moisturizing, a little bit of makeup because, the girls want to look nice. And I did that at least once a year. I started getting my team members to join me on it. It really became kind of a group effort, and we really enjoy doing it once a year now. Just a little something for when they come into the shelter, they may not have all the toiletries they need. Also in the wintertime, you mentioned earlier, I partner with my church over in Wellesley, and we donate socks and foot lotions to the shut-ins through the Wellesley Council of Aging and Wellesley Aid, Friendly Aid. They distribute these products to the folks at Christmas time, usually because they don't have family who are going to see them, visit with them, and even, pardon me, a little bit of sunlight there, gifts. So it's just a nice way to kind of give back to your local community with what I already have on hand.
Right. And again, mention the charity that you also, in the springtime, I know you raise funds for a cancer charity.
Oh, yes. Thank you for reminding me. Relay for Life. I'm actually a cancer survivor. You might not be able to tell, but there's a scar here. I had
Mine
thyroid
too.
cancer at 22. Thankfully, we caught it early, and I didn't have any risk of, real danger. But I know other people who catch it later, and it can be very devastating. But what's nice about Relay for Life, it's the American Cancer Society as a whole. It's not targeting any one organ. Nobody is left out. The funding covers things like the vans that transport people back and forth, the hope lodges that you might notice in your major cities near hospitals, where families can stay if they can't afford to, say, get a hotel room while their family members going through chemo, and various other programs that the money is divided up amongst. So as a survivor, even more important, but also just as someone who cares about my friends and family who survived and those who have not, I walk to bring awareness, to raise funds, and it's a sense of community.
Right. So you can see why I'm so high on Kristen. Please welcome her in our community and reach out to her if you know any brides or any other people who are in need of makeup, especially at the last minute in the greater Boston, Eastern Massachusetts area. Again, she can send samples anywhere across the United States for people who do not have a Mary Kay representative. She'll be happy to pamper you, and again, just knowing who she is and all the things that she does to make our community a better place to live. So I thank you. To your sales success, this is Dr. Nancy Zare, and I'll see you in our Facebook group.